How's it going, guys? So it's a new week and we're going to continue working on our project. We have a neighbor that has this rock crusher, had a bunch of concrete sitting back here that thought we'd get broken up and used for fill. We already had a decent pile of broken up concrete there, and then last week we added a bunch more to it. Starting to build up, and it doesn't really make the best fill because of how many kind of cavities there are between it. If you pack it in somewhere, this machine will break it down a little bit, make a lot better driveway fill. You have some different piles of concrete, different places. We're gonna move everything back there. We want to fill in a good bit. We need a little bit of fill in there, but then mainly up in the upper part of the driveway. Where this new robot lane is, we want to get the driveway up on both sides so it's a nice even drive across it. Slightly sloped away to get the water away. Hey guys, so it's the next morning. We had the neighbor out with his crusher yesterday, cleaned up a bunch of this concrete. Pretty reasonable price for him to come out and break it up into these smaller pieces. Our robot feeders are actually scheduled to be delivered at the end of this week. The goal is over the next few days to get this shop completely cleared out. Then the guys from Lely can start installing them next week or within the next couple weeks. Our new shop I was showing you guys is going to be over there in that building. Should work really well as far as organizing the tools. It's a little bit smaller, not as much headroom, but for us it's going to do the job for a while. Cattle trailer is going to need to find a new place to park. We're ready to set our concrete cover on this water valve box. We used to just have a thin metal cover on that, but now we're going to be driving through with all the forage carts. We decided we're not going to pour concrete in this building for now. Just going to get this floor leveled a little bit, and we have some stone dust we're going to spread out. We were thinking concrete, and as it turns out, 5 inches of concrete costs a little bit more than 1 inch of stone dust. So this is what we're doing. So we're going to bring the workbench over, and then we have shelves we'll set up eventually. The plan is to put the workbench along this wall. Spent a good amount of time yesterday working on these driveways so we can actually drive across this new lane. Filled that in quite a bit. Try to get this shelf of odds and ends moved over, and then we're gonna have to take all these apart, rebuild them over there. I got a call. The robots are scheduled to show up tonight on the truck, and then they'll be ready to unload them first thing in the morning. We got the shop cleared out. Looks quite a bit different in here. I want to get it swept up and then we'll be able to put all that stuff straight in here tomorrow. We're planning to put the main loading station right here. The conveyor's going out to the 3 silos and a conveyor down to a hay box. Bunch of augers coming out of the ceiling into it with grain. All right, so here they are. Truck pulled in last night, and then first thing this morning they wanted to unload them. It was our responsibility to have something that was heavy enough to lift them off the truck. It says 1360 kg, so pushing 3,000 pounds. I think we can move them with our skid loader now that they're lower to the ground. Next week we'll get the plastic off of them. You can see them a little better, but the base, it's like our feed pusher, just a little bit bigger. It's gonna spin and push the feed in. And then you got a mixer sitting right on top of it. So there's a cover on it. It's a single screw vertical mixer. So it's just like our TMR mixer we're using now that has 2 screws. This is just a smaller version, single screw. And it holds about 10% or so of what our current mixer holds. Mixing smaller batches of feed more times a day. It's battery powered, it's gonna be nice and quiet. Yeah, we'll get to see a lot more with these, but you can sort of get the idea of the size of them. Kind of similar to the size of a skid loader, a little smaller, about the same height. Still got a lot of work ahead of us to get them working, but just having them here on the farm, it's starting to get real. We tried to use the skid loader to get them into the feed room, but these things are too heavy for the skid loader, so making it work with the forklift. The terrain's a little uneven there, but it worked out okay. Got one more to do.
My replacements have arrived. So now this is no longer our shop, but our feed room.
All right, so we got them moved into the new feed room. Feels good to have them up on this concrete. There was just enough of a change in elevation there to make me a little nervous. Forklifts aren't really built for dirt or off-roading. I was thinking we should be able to lift them with the skid loader, but 3,000 pounds apparently is a little too much for the skid loader. At least when you have fork extensions on, a lot of that weight is out towards the end. Today's Friday, July the 26th. Monday, they're planning to be back to start setting things up. We gotta lift them off these pallets. So we'll probably bring them right outside, and then we'll need to use the forklift again and lift them up, pull the pallets out from underneath, drop them down, and then we can drive them anywhere we want them. Pretty cool to see them in here. So they look pretty tall right now, but they're about a foot off the ground. So they're gonna be, 6 foot high or something like that. Maybe a little bit taller than 6 foot. There'll be one that parks and charges there, and the other one will go to the loading station down on that end. Should have enough room in this building to maneuver everything. So these are the metal strips I was talking about. They're gonna attach to the concrete lane outside. So they're just 1/8 of an inch thick or something. Once these are in the building, then they'll use ultrasound to read against the headlocks and stuff. See underneath here at all? Got some different inner workings there. It'll be cool to see this without the cover on it, but there you can see the door that opens up, drops the feed out. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.